In this episode of Overland Travellers, we hit the Madigan line, but it isn't long before one vehicle in the convoy has some major issues resulting in a 1,000-kilometre mercy dash for parts back in Alice. But first we need to get to the Madigan, which is where we start our journey just outside of Alice Springs. Welcome to another episode. We are just about to hit the bins track. We are airing down and we are going to be doing another Madigan line crossing. So last time we did the Madigan, we didn't actually do the entire track. We cut off the Hay River and then we joined up with the QAA, whereas this time we are going to be doing the entire Madigan line. And then recently it's had a lot of rain through it, like in a tremendous amount of water. So apparently it is looking incredible. It's very lush, lots of wildflowers, which is completely different to the last time we did it. So I think it's going to be a very different crossing to our last video. We're in the new car, obviously. We're really curious to see how this Simpson crossing goes compared to the old 40 series. And yeah, we're just excited to get back out in the Simpson. We get going on our journey to the start of the Madigan line via the bins track. It's easy going and quite spectacular driving through the ranges.
Along the bins track again. This is the second year over on the bins, and we're just surprised at how green it is around here. It's going to be really interesting once we get into the desert and see how green it is there. I know there's a lot of wildflowers at the moment, which you're excited about, Elf.
Hopefully some paper daisies.
If there is one defining feature of the bins track, it's the bull dust holes, which always make for a good photo opportunity. If you want to see all the photos we take in our adventures, you can check them out on our Instagram, Overland Travellers. After all that excitement, it's getting late in the afternoon, so we decide to find camp.
G'day everyone, so we've pulled up to camp. We are between the acacia trees and camp 1A, I think, on the Madigan. We just pulled off the track down what might be an old riverbed, but yeah, it's beautiful. We're surrounded by wildflowers. We have heard that there's heaps around at the moment and it's very green compared to when we did it back in, when was it, 2022 or 21? 21, yeah, so it's been a while since we've been out here. We are still in cattle country though, so there are quite a few flies. But so a few people have their fly nets out. They're not too bad, but hopefully as soon as the sun sets, they'll F off.
With camp set up, we do a visual on the vehicles. What are you doing, Adrian?
I'm cleaning your cabin filter. So we put one in before the trip, because the 70s don't come out with a cabin filter. It's standard. They come out with a fly screen.
So if you've got a 70 series, there's literally this bit of mesh as your cabin filter. It will do nothing for fine dust. You can go to Repco, you can get a Ryco one, and it will slip into that area where that cabin filter really should be. Adrian just took his out because he wanted to have a look, and it was like ridiculous the amount of dust. Your air wouldn't have even been coming in. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
All right, let's see how this one looks after 3 months. So we literally put this on the first or second day of the trip, and now, yeah, after canning, all the bull dust, all the just roads we've been on, we'll see how it looks.
The filter is standard. Stop no dust. I think we need to blow him out.
I think so. I might get the compressor, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'll show you why.
Oh no.
That's why I put the boots on. I don't want them in my feet.
Fair enough.
Might crack a beer. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. With the recent rain in the area, it was looking fantastic, and there were still large bodies of water near camp. We settled in for the night and had a communal cook-up on our spare tyre hot plate. After a good night's sleep, we got going early to beat the flies and to hit the Madigan line.
Because we did this last time, which was the left track.
So we're also off to do the Madigan line again. Now, the Madigan line holds a little bit of a special part for me. It was the first trip I went on camera with Matt and Hull from Overland Travellers, along with Elsie. First sort of maiden desert voyage for Elsie. So now with Junior, obviously the new 78. I'm sure Matt and Hull want to do that comparison of like a 40 series on the Madigan, a 70 series on the Madigan. So it's going to be really interesting. So I'm excited.
Now that we're in the Simpson Desert, it's important to change over to Channel 10 on the UHF, which is the official channel for the Simpson. This way you can hear other vehicles chatter and do call-outs before dune crests.
So we've just hit the dune country of the Madigan line. Cam is just dropping a little bit more air out of his tyres. Ours are already pretty low, and I think Adrian is dropping air too, I can see him. So yeah, this is where you kind of hit the dunes. So far the first couple have been quite bumpy, so just make it a bit easier on the vehicles getting them up and over.
As we approach Camp 7, we stop for lunch, but both Adrian and I can hear an odd noise coming from Bertha. G'day everyone, we're at Camp 7 on the Madigan line. It's been a nice cruisy morning. Different to our last time, not only because there's a lot more vegetation around, but obviously we're doing it in the 70 series. And one thing we were chatting about is the difference between the 40 series and the 70 series. And honestly, the 40 series in this exact kind of terrain is better. The 70 series really buck back and forth. More on this line than the Canning. It's sort of a different drive. Look, it's doing it fine. It's just the gearing as well, actually. First bit low, second too high, whereas in the 40, second it would crawl over still. But look, I mean, obviously the 70 is better. It's just interesting comparing it. So as I said, we're at Camp 7. We just had a bit of lunch, and Adrian's just done a bit of a walk around on Bertha, and he has a digital thermometer, which are a very handy bit of gear, and he ran it over his hubs, and he noticed one of his rear hubs is hot. He's very, very hot.
Hot diggity.
So that can mean poor lubrication on your bearings, or it can also mean a bearing is starting to collapse, which is something you can definitely check. At the very least, Adrian's going to take it apart, grease it up, and give it every chance it's got. Because yeah, he's due for bearings, and he was going to do it at the end of the trip, but yeah, we'll see how it looks. Adrian begins to tear down to the hub. It's worth noting Adrian has all the tools for this, but he may have forgot to bring a spare bearing, as we all did.
Just go my side. Let the leaf pack just, yeah, because if it falls, I just don't want it to crush me.
No, that's exactly right.
Never do I.
Some sort of issue, we don't know yet whether we've got a collapsed bearing or we're just dry bearing, and it's caused the rotor to come out and foul on the caliper. Now, the rear diff lock's not working on Bertha, so we can't pull the axle out without dropping internals in the diff. So in order to line that up, we're manually actuating a diff, so we've had to take the cover off and push the pin in, but we can't push the pin in because it's not in the exact position, so we've got to jack the whole car up, turn the wheel slightly, put the pin in. Fingers crossed.
He won with lock. Diff lock on.
You got her.
No.
Oh no!
She's dead.
She's dead, all right.
Oh no, that's not bearing.
No, what's that? That's the
locker
ring around the outside. So maybe that might have been it too. But that's also causing it to move.
And that is a seal.
Yes.
That's an axle seal.
So we need a bearing.
She was just like, yeah, on there. That's the second biggest shaft she's seen today.
Yeah. Sorry, Hol.
That's okay.
That's full collapse.
Yep. She's a collapse.
Now, this might not look like a bearing, but that's a bearing.
Well, should we get diff oil?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
We'll drain it. Have a look at the plug.
Yeah.
It should be coated in metal.
Oh yeah. By the looks of this.
That'll cost you not much.
Right, so we've got that hub off, that you see in the tub in the ground there. We've got a full collapsed outside bearing. It is fully, it's metal. Now the stub is a bit worn because metal's been bashing around, but where both bearings are going to sit is good. It doesn't look pretty, and it's going to need some serious love later. J-Max, you want to give me a diff or something? I would love one. Or multi-drive, I'm going to need some new stub axles. Anyway, we're going to get some parts. Matt and Hole are going to do the Mercy dash to Alice. We've got the Starling set up for that, which is handy that these guys have got it. And we'll start a rebuild in the desert.
Some footage of that.
Contact later.
Thank you.
Do you guys need some coal? No, I think we're good. Not so bad. Not so bad.
So the cool thing is right now we've got the Starlink set up. So this is the satellite internet, which literally works anywhere in Australia. Look, you've probably heard of it by now. Everyone's getting on it. It is really that good. We're in the middle of the Madigan now, Camp 7. We've got the internet going. What we're going to do is leave it here, and they're going to set it up. And then Adrian's going to get on the internet and he's going to click and collect everything that he's going to need to rebuild this hub, and then we can just drive into Alice and get it. So Holly and I can leave right now. We can get going, and Adrian can sit down the Sava and do a couple of hours ringing people, organising what he needs, and it's really handy. He's got a sat phone, and it's easier than the sat phone to do this kind of stuff. So it just goes to show having this kind of stuff is bloody handy. Yeah, so Holly and I are going to do the dash back now, and yeah, I'm kind of jealous. I think these guys are going to sit down and drink a heap of beer this Savo. What are you going to do, Court?
We can probably have a drink, maybe some cheese, maybe pick some desert flowers. Not sure.
And you know what? Sale of juice.
Yes, we've got a box of port, we've got 2 bowls of wine.
Are we going to survive?
I think, and you know what? I think we've got maybe 3 or 4 soft cheeses, some quince paste.
We've only got 1 quince as well. 2 quinces, is that enough?
Look, I hope so.
Yeah.
Matt, we'll probably pick us up some more quince paste when you're in town.
Yeah. And I've never had bush tomato. We could make a relish out of it.
I've got a relish.
Oh, well, there we go. We're fine.
How are we going to live? Do we need to start like carving arrows and stuff?
I think so. Yeah. I'm going to get nude.
We're literally just like, all right, now, do I need to leave you a couple of beers, like a few 6-packs? How much do you have? Is your good? We're literally just like, we're so concerned about how much beer they got, because we're probably going to be like 2 nights, so you're going to have a bit of time to
Bonding.
bond. All right, enjoy. We just need to do one thing before we leave. We just need to take a photo of Adrian looking very concerned for the thumbnail.
Obviously you're not meant to drive the Madigan this way. We obviously have no choice but to head back, but we only have 2 camps, so from 7 to 5 that is only meant to be one-way travel. It's pretty late in the afternoon. I would assume that most people by now would have stopped driving, so I don't think we'll encounter much traffic, but we'll do plenty of call-outs. Yeah, we will do call-outs before we crest dunes just in case.
Absolutely need a UHF for this kind of
stuff. You do,
so.
Yep. So yeah, we'll just drive as far as we can tonight, probably camp somewhere along the bins track, and then get up, head into Alice tomorrow, turn around, come back. So
yeah, we'll probably grab it tomorrow and be able to start heading back.
Yeah, and then probably be back to them by lunchtime. What is it, Friday?
After tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, so here we go.
Alright, well I don't know how much filming we'll get done between now and Alice, but anyway, it'll be a fun little exercise. Let's go. So travelling west on the Madigan, we're on the leeward side of the dune, so this is the hardest side. Look at this. Diff locks.
So we came down this and it was really rutted and whoopy.
Yeah, it's really rutted, so did make up in first low then. Diff locks in now. And let's take it to. I love diff locks.
So good.
They're so good.
Considering we've never had them, it's such a luxury.
Yeah, they're so good for that kind of stuff.
Alright, we've just pulled up to camp for the night. We do have a little bit of daylight left, but we're both pretty exhausted. It was a full day of driving before we even turned around, and we just did another 3 hours. So we've decided to pull up now, actually cook something for dinner. We did have one of those like quick meals, but we'll actually have something
We got plenty
proper.
of time. We kind of thought we'll have a nice long night,
Yeah.
big sleep, getting like into bed early. Then we'll leave we'll be driving by just before sunrise.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get into Alice and get the gear and probably stay in Alice tomorrow night, and then we're just going to try and do one day Alice to Camp 7. It's going to be a big day drive anyway, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
It's bright and early. What time is it? 5? Yeah. 5 o'clock. So we're going to try and get on the road, obviously, before sunrise. And smash some K's out and get to Alice. Jet boil. Get a jet boil. They are
So good.
so good. They're bloody lifesaver. For things like this.
Might be using it a few times today, maybe.
Yeah.
So your tracks came through here,
Okay, yep. Through there.
and then yeah.
It's times like these you really appreciate having the right gear. The Sabre spotties at the front were invaluable for this morning run. One thing we also didn't mention, and it's worth noting, was the afternoon before when we stopped. We set up camp, had a shower, cooked dinner and cleaned up all within 1 hour. Having a quick, convenient and efficient setup really pays when things like this happen. We don't often drive in this time of day, and I must say it's beautiful and makes for some great footage. Thanks for watching this episode. Tune in next week as we roll into Alice Springs, get the parts and get back out to see if Bertha can be fixed so we can finish this Simpson crossing. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.